Look around your office. The fluorescent lights buzzing overhead, the gray cubicles stretching endlessly, the clock on the wall that never seems to move fast enough. What if I told you this isn't just an office, it's a prison, and you've been a willing inmate your whole adult life? I know that sounds dramatic, but stay with me. In 1791, a British philosopher named Jeremy Bentham designed what he called the perfect prison. He called it the Panopticon. Picture a circular building. In the center stands a tall guard tower. Around it, arranged in a ring, are the prison cells. The genius of this design? The guards in the tower can see every prisoner at all times. But here's the twist. The prisoners can never see into the tower. They don't know if they're being watched right now or if the tower is empty. So what do? They assume they're always being watched. They become their own guards. They police themselves. They internalize the surveillance. Now look at your modern workplace. Really look at it. The open-plan office where your screen is visible to everyone, the Slack notifications that demand instant response, the green dot that shows you're active, the screen monitoring software, the keystroke loggers, the productivity trackers, the quarterly performance reviews where you're graded like a student. You're living in Bentham's Panopticon, just with better Wi-Fi and free coffee. But here's what makes 2024 truly terrifying. The deal you made for this imprisonment, security in exchange for freedom, that deal is breaking right now, as we speak. According to the World Economic Forum, AI can now perform 53% of a market researcher's tasks, 67% of what a sales representative does. Large chunks of coding, writing, analysis. JP Morgan economists found that companies adopting AI are actually slowing their hiring, not expanding. That stable job you traded your life for, it's becoming the highest risk asset in your portfolio. Welcome to the Mindset Hacker.
Let me tell you about the biggest lie you've ever been told. Your parents told you this, your teachers repeated it, society reinforced it at every turn. Work hard and you'll get ahead. Study hard, get good grades, land a stable job, and you'll be successful. It sounds so logical, so fair. Work equals reward, input equals output. But let me show you the math that nobody taught you in school. If you're paid by the hour or even by the year, you're trapped in a linear equation. Income equals time multiplied by your hourly rate. Simple math. Also, absolutely devastating for wealth building. Here's why. There are only 24 hours in a day. You need to sleep about 8 of them. Eat, commute, maintain basic human functions. That's another 4 to 6 hours, which leaves you with maybe 10 to 12 productive hours on a good day. Now, even if you're incredibly productive, there's a ceiling. You will hit it every single time. Meanwhile, your boss, your company's shareholders, the entrepreneurs you see on Instagram, they're playing by completely different rules. They make money while they sleep, while they vacation, while they're at their kids' soccer game, while you're grinding at 2 a.m. trying to meet their deadline. This isn't an accident. This is by design. The system needs you to believe that trading time for money is honorable, noble even. Because if you ever realized there was another way, if you understood that wealth is built through leverage, not labor, you'd stop being a prisoner and you'd become competition. And that's the last thing the system wants. So what's the other way? What's the escape route? Investor and philosopher Naval Ravikant put it perfectly. You're not going to get rich renting out your time, no matter how high your hourly rate. You must own equity, a piece of a business, a piece of a product to gain financial freedom. Now, in the past, that sounded impossible for regular people. Building something meant factories, inventory, employees, massive capital, investors, connections. You needed permission from gatekeepers at every step. But here's what makes this era, right now, 2024, different from any time in human history. Today, you need a laptop and an internet connection. That's it, because we now have access to what Naval calls permissionless leverage. There are two types. Let me explain both. First, code. Software, programs. When you write a piece of software, it runs for thousands, millions of users simultaneously. It doesn't get tired. It doesn't need sleep. It works 24/7 without complaining. One person can build something that serves millions. Think about that. Second, media, content. This video you're watching right now, I made it once, just once, but it reaches you whether I'm awake or asleep, whether I'm on a beach in Bali or sitting in a coffee shop in Tokyo. This is the physics of the digital economy. It's called zero marginal cost replication. Let me break that down. In the old economy, making one more product cost money. One more car, one more hamburger, one more t-shirt. Each one costs resources. But once I create something digital, a video, a course, an ebook, a piece of software, copying it to the next person costs essentially nothing. Zero. Your time is no longer the bottleneck. Your ideas become the product, and unlike your time, products scale infinitely. This is how one person in 2024 can build what used to require 100 employees. Welcome to the age of the one-person business.
Okay, the theory sounds amazing, but how do you actually do this? Let me give you the exact framework. This comes from Alex Hormozi. He's built multiple $100 million businesses, and he's reverse engineered what works. He calls it the value equation. Write this down. Value equals dream outcome times perceived likelihood of achievement divided by time delay times effort and sacrifice. Let me break each piece down so you can actually use this. First component, dream outcome. This is what your customer desperately wants, not features, transformation. Don't sell weight loss coaching. Nobody wants coaching. Sell feeling confident at the beach for the first time in 10 years. Sell fitting into your old jeans by your high school reunion. Paint the picture of their future self. Make them see it, feel it. Second component, perceived likelihood. This is about belief. Do they believe you can deliver this transformation? This is where testimonials come in, case studies, before and after photos, guarantees. Here's a secret. A powerful guarantee can double or triple your sales overnight. If you don't see results in 30 days, full refund. That removes all risk from the buyer. Third component, time delay. How fast do they see results? Speed is value. Even if the full transformation takes months, can you give them a quick win in week 1? Fourth component, effort and sacrifice. This is the game changer. How much work do they have to do? This is why done-for-you services cost way more than do-it-yourself courses. A DIY course on building a website may be $50. Someone who builds the website for you, $5,000 to $50,000. Same outcome, different effort. Now here's the secret most beginners miss. Start with services, not products. Services have 80 to 90% profit margins. No inventory headaches, no months of R&D. You can land your first paying client this week. Then, once you've proven people will pay for what you offer, you systematize, you document your processes, you hire help, you automate, and eventually you can turn that service into a product that scales. I want to leave you with something you can actually do, not just theory, action. I call it the 90-day escape plan. Days 1 through 30, your mission, find your special knowledge. What is something that feels like play to you but looks like work to others? Go deep into online communities.
Reddit, LinkedIn, Facebook groups. Find where people are complaining about problems that you know how to solve. Write down their exact words, their frustrations, their pain. This is market research, and it's completely free. Days 31 through 60. Build your first offer using the value equation. Make the dream outcome crystal clear. Add a guarantee that removes risk. And here's the counterintuitive part. Price it higher than feels comfortable. If you're not slightly embarrassed by your price, it's probably too low. Days 61 through 90. Get your first 3 paying clients. Cold outreach, direct messages. Offer a founding member discount in exchange for detailed testimonials. If nobody buys, you haven't failed. You've gathered invaluable data. Adjust your offer. Maybe the guarantee isn't strong enough. Maybe the dream outcome isn't vivid enough. Tweak it and try again. This is how every successful entrepreneur started. By day 90, you'll have proven or disproven your business model. Either way, you win. Because here's the thing about the biggest risk. The biggest risk isn't trying and failing. The biggest risk is spending 40 years in the panopticon, giving your best hours to someone else's dream, only to be replaced by an algorithm the day before you were supposed to retire. The prison door, it was never actually locked. The key was always in your understanding of leverage and value. If you're ready to start your escape, drop the word escape in the comments. That's your declaration, your line in the sand, your commitment to yourself. If you haven't watched our brain rot detox video yet, watch it next, because escaping the 9-to-5 trap means nothing if your brain is too distracted by dopamine to do the work. And watch our 90-second rule video to learn how to actually start working when resistance hits. Subscribe to join the growing army of mindset hackers who are rewriting the rules of success. Master your mind, master your money, master your life. I'll see you in the next one.